Let me read to you today's placements. The sun, as we know, is in Leo. Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to mid-August. Welcome to your Virgo season reading. Now, check it out. Mutable sign. The sun is in Leo, fixed energy, okay? The moon is in Virgo. Virgo moon right here. Mercury is in Virgo, and it's retrograde. Venus is in Virgo. Mars, Gemini, another mutable sign. Jupiter, Gemini, mutable sign. Saturn, retrograde in Pisces, mutable sign. Neptune, retrograde in Pisces, mutable sign. And then we have Uranus and Pluto. And the sun in fixed signs. So, if there was a day to talk to Sagittarians, it's today. So let's talk. The thing that I find funny about your particular way of manifesting what you want is that you have a target. You shoot your arrow at that target. And then you have two choices. You can worry the whole time the arrow is in midair. And you can fret and you can wait to see if it will hit its target, which it always does. In which case, things go very slow. And at some point, things go so slow that you think, this arrow's never gonna hit this target. And you get bored and walk away. And as soon as you do, and the arrow of your manifestation, your desire, your goal, your thought, your want is no longer being observed, it goes quantum. And there it is. So I would say that in Virgo season, you just get sick and tired of waiting for that love arrow to hit that target. You finally just stop paying attention and get real casual, like fuck it, because you have other stuff going on. You're just in a different place. You're chilling. And of course, that's what I always tell you. As soon as you're chill, stuff starts moving. So, it's very possible, now that Venus is in Virgo, it's very possible for you to just attract, just because this is a very chill person. This is someone who's shooting arrows at several targets and not waiting around to see if any of them land, because they're all gonna hit. So you just keep moving on to the next goal, to the next thing. You don't stop and worry about what you don't have, certainly not love. In fact, you feel very loved throughout August and into September. So you're not really searching for anything. Not affirmation, not money, not love, not attention. And so, of course, because you have, in a fundamental way, shifted your focus. Some of you were boy crazy, some of you were girl crazy, some of you were they crazy, some of you were money crazy, some of you were fame crazy, some of you just wanted to get into incredible shape. You were all holding one or two goals above all others and just strangling the life out of that trip that arrow was trying to take to that mark. And now you're just like, Umber, I'm tired. I know, but it's the best way. It's the best kind of tired. You guys, as a Gemini, I'm telling you this, you guys can be a lot. But when you're like this, and who can't be a lot? Who gives a fuck if you're a lot? It's amazing. But when you're like this, top tier, no one better to hang out with, no one better to chill with, no one better to go out with, no one better to have a relationship with, to be perfectly honest. This Sagittarius is like, when you know what's up, you know what's up. That's Dangerous Beauty playing in the background. If you have not seen Dangerous Beauty, my God, are you missing out? All right, so why are you in this space of such chill? Would you like this astrological, I hate when I drop cards. Would you like the astrological backup for why you are behaving this way? I can tell you why. It has everything to do with the fact that right now, the Sag rising now, through your 7th house, you have that Jupiter-Mars, okay? And then you have Venus in Virgo. Just the combination. Let me get this card 1 second. Hello. The combination. There's a lot going on. I know, it's hectic for a second. Hold on. I didn't expect to drop a card. Okay. The combination of these transits has taken you from a place of utter confusion and regret to not giving a fuck. This needs to happen before you stop caring, before this glorious person can emerge. Sometimes you do this like once a year, sometimes twice a year. Sometimes you'll wait and like not want to do this with a relationship, and you'll let someone to like bring you here over and over again until you never decide not to give a fuck. It happens one day. So the shift, especially with this Venus energy pulling, the shift that you have here, Jupiter being in that house of relationships across from you, gorgeous energy. You are no longer confused. Suddenly, you don't have any regrets. It's wild. I'll tell you a little story. I was in a relationship years ago that, it kind of fucked me up. And I had these strange thoughts in my head that have been playing with me since then about what that relationship was and who I was in the context of it, and like where had it gone wrong? I couldn't make sense of it. By chance, I bumped into this douchebag on the street. It's been 10 years, huh? When I tell you that this is my story, real ghetto story, I remember those days when hell was my home and me and mama, never mind. Okay. In a moment, in a flash, 10 years of instances, comments that have really bothered me and just made me question myself, bro. They were gone in an instant. I mean, I could go into detail and I could tell you that the girl was wearing a dress. The girl that he was with was wearing a dress that looked like a tortilla. I could tell you that. I could tell you that as they were walking and he saw me, he immediately let go of her hand and started to pretend that they weren't together. I could tell you that he stopped and sat down on a bench because he was so overcome and reclamped that he didn't know what to do. The point is, I realized in that moment that I had just been fucking playing myself all these years, like thinking that this man and whatever he said had any real say in my life. So, there is a moment tantamount to that gorgeous moment, and my best friend was with me. What could be better? Alhamdulillah, like I'm so grateful for how it went because it really reset my head. And the only reason I bring it up, because it's a very personal thing to tell you, the only reason I bring it up is because that's how extreme this reset is for you. You're just reset. Some of you have even been saying to your friends and stuff like, I don't know, like, when did I forget how to be like this? Like, I've always been like this. And your friends are like, you've always been like this. I don't know where you've been. I don't know what you've been up to, but like, you've always been this way. You are yourself again. And generally for Sagittarians, what that means, not that you're a hive mind, but Gemini, Sag, kind of a hive mind. Open heart, open mind, man. You're just living. You're just having fun. You're just, you're doing shit with your friends. You're doing shit with your family. You're feeling optimistic about things, because the confusion that so many people have tried to put you in, especially if that person or you and that person have kids, or there's somehow kids involved. If they're a Capricorn, I'm already sorry. I'm so sorry. This has not been easy. This has been fucking awful. Okay? So, if you're like, I'm a Sag and I'm confused as to whether or not this Capricorn is ever going to, I don't know, marry me, leave his wife, leave his other mistress, it's a Capricorn, move me higher on the roster. No, they're not. This person lives to confuse you and lie to you, and then when you try to get away from them, they make you feel regret because they also have you believing that nobody else wants you, just them. Which is a characteristic of this nefarious soul. And then we have that Leo Sun card right underneath. This person, whomever they represent in your life, whether it's the ghost of hideous boyfriend's past, he looks so ugly. No, and you know, I don't like to use that word because, like, it's ugly to use the word ugly. But it wasn't like, he didn't look like physically ugly. That's not what I mean. He looked like an asshole. You know how you could just like look at someone and be like, that person's an asshole, like that? Ew. This person, whomever this is for you, bitch, whoever had you here, whoever made you think you were here, or had those babies with you, whatever was going on, this is the reality that you see of them in Virgo season. You know what this is? This is someone who doesn't give a fuck about you at all and only cares about themselves and has only ever cared about you to the extent that you are a reflection onto them, and that's if somebody knows about you. If you are someone who feels like they are being hidden as a Sagittarius, I would like to be the person. I would like to nominate myself to be the person who verbally slaps you and wakes you up again and reminds you who the fuck you are. What do you mean? Who should be embarrassed of you and why? Who should be hiding you and why? What's so bad about you? Actually, not much. Aside from the fact that too many people are attracted to you and too many people want to get with you, I actually don't know much that's wrong with Sagittarians outside of that. Think about it yourself. The criticism you hear generally about Sagittarians is what? That they be running around, that they just have so many admirers, that they're so charming, so beautiful, have such gorgeous bodies, really into the body, right? Like, who doesn't, as someone who is currently on their body journey, like, the body is a whole other level of attractive. Like, us 90s kids, we're very like, the face. No, the body. Are you kidding? I'm starting to think that people don't even give a fuck about the face anymore. The body is what people want. What's wrong with you guys, really? Not much. Aside from the fact that everybody wants you and it makes you a dangerous person to get with, right? But even there, even when it comes to your more casual relationships right now, you're feeling strong urges to settle down, to make things official. Again, the way Gemini is, because Gemini, Jupiter is there, and so Gemini is feeling it firsthand, but you're feeling it in your relationship sector hard. Like, you want to grow up past the nonsense and bullshit of dating. You just don't want it anymore. Now, that doesn't mean that you have somebody in mind that you want to do this with, but most of you usually have some sort of something going on, and you may be looking at that person like, okay, maybe I should just make it official with them. Don't do that. And if you're cross-watching and you're like, oh my God, no, tell them to make it official with me. No. Because if you've been letting them run around and step on you for years and sleeping with them anyway, you're not the person for them. We don't want this. Nobody wants this. This is not it. Someone who lets you mistreat them because they have their own agenda, somebody who lets you mistreat them because they need you more than they want you, that's not the person that you, in this season of making things official, turn to and go, oh, do you want to be my wife? No. Because that's not wife material. That's not husband material. That's not partner material. That's just not a viable option, because that person is a doormat. And you've already proven with your horse hoofs that you can fucking walk all over them. So what makes you think that if you make it official with them that it won't just be more of the same? And if you're like, yeah, that's what I want someone that I can walk all over, well, then I don't even know what to say to you. I'm not trying to yell at you. I still love you, but I honestly don't know what to say to you if you want to be with someone who just wants to get walked all over, which is what you've been doing with your situationships. So don't turn that situationship into a housewife. Don't. Go out there and meet some new people. And like, you know, if you're out there doing stuff with your friends and your family, you're showing your actions, you're showing your love through actions, you're doing stuff for your family, you're picking stuff up for your friends, you're buying people shit, you're going out with people, you're being people's +1, you're showing up to their events and clapping, whatever the fuck you're doing, you are going to meet someone because you're on fire. You're in a fire season, you're feeling great, like, you know. Oh, and guess what happens when everybody else realizes that you don't give a fuck if you haven't won at all the things just yet? Guess what happens to all those people who have just been sitting around talking shit about you and plotting on your downfall? You come into such a season of wins that they have no choice. They have to accept it. And when they accept it, this happens. Now, if you are involved with a Capricorn or a Leo, this could very easily be you as well if you're still holding on to the idea of someone choosing you in a situationship. So everything I just said to the cross watchers about if you're a doormat, you don't get chosen. Now I'm going to talk to you about if you have been the person in the relationship. This month is the month where you get some like deep desire brewing inside you to concretize things, and you don't want to be that doormat anymore. You don't want to be treated like this anymore. You don't care what the justifications are anymore. You want progress. You want something official. You want respect, right? Unfortunately, this person is not going to give it to you. They're not equipped, especially if they're an earth sign. They're not equipped. What you have been getting from them is, in their mind, the most effort they know how to make with you. So if they actually had to be around you all the time, instead of the way they're tapering you and like just kind of pulling you along, if they actually had to spend some real time with you uninterrupted, they already know that they wouldn't like you. And you know that they wouldn't like you. So if you are the doormat in this situation and you are waiting for somebody else to use Virgo season as the time where they make it official or they choose you, you see how backwards this sounds, that somebody should choose you? This should already tell you how far off your game you are. And if you're like, but it's not a game, yes it is. When I was younger, like in college, people would ask me, like professors would ask me, like, what is the underlying principle to everything? Sex. No, really, Amber. Sex. What do you mean, no, really? It is. Sex, life, death. Like, there are so few things that are just absolute. We would hope the absolute truths hold true for everyone, but outside of that, this is a game. Even if your feelings are completely involved, this is still a game because it's still a power dynamic. And as someone who is naturally, Sagittarius, very powerful, for you to even be in a position where somebody else gets to play with you, or somebody who played with you real bad comes back during this Virgo retrograde just to remind you once again that they are totally full of shit. I mean, this is someone who really did you dirty and is continuing to do you dirty because they're still up here. They're rent-free, okay? If you are hoping that Mercury retrograde and Venus in Virgo is the time where this person's going to come back around and they're going to choose you and you're going to feel great and all their lies will be made true, you're wrong. What you need to do is come to terms with the fact that they've been lying to you for God knows how long. Okay? But that's only for those of you who are doormats or who are acting like doormats right now. You are not a doormat. If you are letting somebody walk all over your boundaries right now, this is not a permanent condition. You can change things right now. What does she say in Vanilla Sky? Every passing minute is a chance to turn it all around. Okay? Now, if you already have a partner and you're in a serious relationship, as we get into this Mercury retrograde, you could feel their money slowing down. You could feel them starting to get a little bit confused, a little bit stressed. It has nothing to do with you. They feel great about you. It's just about their finances. It's starting to fuck with them. And they don't really want to tell you because they love you, you know? So there's a lot of love around. There's love for self, for those of you who are finally choosing yourself. There's really kind of sexy, casual love brewing for the Sagittarians who are already in chill mode and are just going to like end up meeting the person of their dreams with their hair in a bun and sweatpants on because they just didn't give a fuck anymore. And then there are those of you who are in committed, beautiful relationships where you can really come to your partner's aid in this Virgo retrograde, this Mercury retrograde season, because you don't need them to tell you what's wrong. Just understand that they're having some financial pressure. They don't want to talk to you about it. And really, do what you do best. You're so good at talking, distracting, being funny, taking people out. You're so charming. You're lovely. What you shouldn't do and what you're going to want to do and what your partner might push you to do is fight. Because their money problems, I don't think, are the type of problems that they can work out themselves. They really do need to just wait for the time to be right. And in the meantime, I think they might be prone, you know, with that Jupiterian placement across from you, they might be prone to take it out on you because you're like, you know, the shit. And if they're having problems, like, it's hard, you know, when you're going through this and the person you're with is like, I don't even care anymore. I'm just going to be like really casual about all my like good looks and success and like money and stability. And like, it seems like everyone's attracted to me. And did I mention my good looks and I have a great body? Like, yeah, it's the guy on TikTok who's like, oh my God, you lost your car? We'll go buy another one. Oh my God, you lost your job? Well, why did you even have that job? Just to have somewhere to go and wake up in the morning? Like, that's where you're at. I love that guy, by the way. But, like, that's where you're at. And I'm not laughing. Cross watchers, I'm not laughing. I'm just saying, your partner might be going through it. If you're in a marriage already, or like a really committed relationship, you love this motherfucker, your partner might be going through it a little bit. Just don't fight with them. Please don't fight with them because they are not mad at you for anything you've actually done. They just can't stand how fucking lucky you are right now. And just in general, mashallah, mashallah, very lucky. But especially right now when their luck seems to be spiraling downward, it's just irritating to have you be like, oh my God, guess what? Another great thing happened to me. So the way that I would counteract this is just being as kind as you can and being as supportive as you can so your wins feel like their wins. Take on their losses like your own losses. Empathize with them, sit with them, talk to them, you know, be affectionate with them. Make sure that you are not so obsessed with your casual era that you forget to let them know that you care and that their losses, although your wins are, you know, they're showing out, their losses mean a lot to you and that you want to be there for them. I think it will really help them. Really, I think it will bring you very close together if you're able to do that right now. I'm not saying you have to play it small, you know, just make your wins also their wins. Make their losses also your losses. I think that will even things out really nicely, actually. And because your partner is facing, you know, various issues here and there, some things even that maybe career-wise that they don't want to tell you, they might be lying to you. You know, this is also, we're going to talk about career and money in the extended. They may not want to tell you the whole truth about what's going on with them financially. So being patient, being friendly, being open, being a good listener, and then also being inquisitive in the right moments and asking the right questions and, you know, getting it out of them. Like, tell me what's really going on. I think that will be really helpful. It's not anything emotional, it's financial. You know, financial stress is the fucking worst. So that's your look at love. Now we're going to do career, money next. We already got some cards for it. And then we're doing health and wellness. And then there's a general advice part. So let me just talk to the cross watchers real fast while we're here. Hello. So you're in love with the Sag, huh? Nice. All right. Well, as you can tell, I'm in love with them too. So we can be sister wives. Okay. All right. Sagittarius, what do they, if you are, okay, let me start this way. Let me do my little intro, right? If you are in love with or in a situationship with or would like to fuck with a Sagittarius right now and they're not giving you the time of day, you're trying to get their attention, you're trying to date them, or if you're with one and you don't know how to handle them, you can't seem to get your hands on those reins. First and foremost, I would like to burst that bubble and let you know that even the most skilled of people do not get to hold those reins. The only people that will ever hold those reins, however temporarily, will be fantastic in bed, and it'll probably last a couple of hours. Okay, I have no idea who that is. Hold on.
Sorry about that. It is very late at night the same day, and August is kind of hectic for me. Sorry. So if you are trying desperately to get a hold of a Sagittarius, control them somehow, get them to listen to you, etc., I think right now one of the most disappointing things for you may be that things have changed for Sagittarians. They're not as naive or as gullible as they were even a year ago. They don't really know they're naive, but it's because they're hopeless romantics that they're naive. And so if you're trying to date them or romantically, you know, lure them in, seduce them, then you have a great advantage over them because they are only naive in matters of love. They're pretty worldly otherwise. So you have had them at a disadvantage for a very long time because they want to believe, they want to love, they want the storybook. And maybe you have and maybe you haven't exploited that romantic nature. But whether it worked in the past or not, things have changed. And Sagittarius has decided that there is a way beyond the end-all be-all of romance. They have realized that perhaps relaxing into every other part of their life and applying some of the savvy that they have so much of to their love life may actually really help. They'll get there in August. For now, they're just tired. And they're relaxing because they've run out of options. They have been hurt, betrayed, afraid, alone. all together at once. So, let them rest. They need it. And if you want anything to do with them romantically, then I think you're going to have to change strategies, because exploiting their naivete will no longer work. It won't be enough to charm them. It won't be enough to have sexual chemistry. It won't be enough to be as charming as they desperately need you to be. You will also have to be true. That honesty and the lack thereof is where you hit a wall. But when you have hit this wall in the past, Sagittarius, no matter how much you hurt them, has been kind enough to let you bounce off. That's no longer the case. Now you'll hit a brick wall going pretty fast if you try to mess with their peace. So either be true or keep it moving, I guess. All right, that is your look at the general. Let's get into the extended. The links are below. There is a Patreon single purchase link, so if you cannot access Patreon in your country for some reason and get a subscription, you can do it just as a single video. You can, my entire body is starting to itch, and I feel like there's like a mosquito somewhere in this room. Anyway, there's also a Patreon subscription link, there's a Vimeo link, and there's a PayPal link where you get an email right away with the video in it. And there's also a link for personal readings, and they look like this. So if you're interested in that, that is below as well. Thank you for everyone who has expressed an interest in the self-esteem course. It should be up soon, and I'm really excited about it. Love you. Let's look at these cards.
Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to the first part of your extended, what we use for the preview. So a few last words on love, relationships in general, and how it ties in, how we can segue into career and money. The piece of advice I would give you here that is a bridge between the two, and perhaps a bridge that you can walk to any destination over, and that is to resolve your differences amicably. Right now, career-wise, money-wise, you are at the beginning of, God willing, a beautiful journey. And it's one where you're going to want lots of friends with you. You want supportive exes, ex-lovers, ex-whomevers. You want somewhat cordial, even if that's all you can muster, ties with friends that you don't necessarily want to be around all the time anymore. In all the opportunities you have in your life right now where you can either go left or right with a person, I suggest you choose friendliness and you approach every person with the spirit that you want to resolve things. Now, you don't have to finish that sentence for them. They don't have to know that the rest of that sentence is because I'm about to be so rich that you could be a liability. If you want to be cold-hearted about it, that's the approach. The approach is the same whether you're being pragmatic or you're just evolved enough to be a good person in business. If you allow people the option to get around your bow and arrow and actually get a little closer to you than you think they should. See, it's not possible to properly apologize to you because once somebody has hurt you, that bow and arrow is never getting put down. And if anyone comes close to you, tries to hug you, tries to apologize, tries to, at the very least, commiserate with wherever you may be now in your life, they have to kind of let that arrow be pushed through their chest. They have to allow it. And not a lot of people have the strength or the stamina for that. And not a lot of people have the gumption for it either. So, resolving things in a friendly way with people is really a task left on your shoulders, because you are too intimidating to approach with that sort of thing. And maybe this process starts as just a thought in your head, where you begin to forgive that person, pray for that person, forgive yourself, pray for yourself. Perhaps it says just that and nothing more. Even that will affect the real world, and it will make things better, easier, more supportive. You see, financially, you're hitting an upswing that can last for a long time, inshallah. I hope so. And it would be so great as this balloon pulls you up into the heavens. It would be so great if there was nobody that had a chain around your ankle. And it would be so wonderful that instead of having to saw through all of them, you had just unlocked them all with gentility and understanding and sophistication and shrewdness and strategy. Don't you think? All right. Now we're going to get into the juice. Okay. See you in the extended. I love you.